we're going to go through some of the favourite sounds that I use in the studio and live. Really easy to set up. Just by going through category search, you can pick on your favourite sounds, put a little heart by them, which is quite cute, and it puts them in a separate menu which you can access live very quickly. So we're going to go into voice mode, going to hit category search, we're going to go favourites. I'm going to hit enter, and all my favourites are now listed on the screen. Kicking off with the full concert grand, which is from the Motif XS, as all the sounds are. It's really expressive because it uses quite a lot of multi-sampling. So start at the top so you can hear the nice top end. And it's also heavy enough to play. Expressive, and this is the 61 note. So the 88 features a full balanced hammer weighted action, so it's nice and heavy on the bottom end, nice and light on the top. So around about 1350, it's a real contender for like a decent stage piano, as well as having all of the workstation elements on it as well. Down to another favourite would be a piano and strings. So. So this is just a simple layer, and obviously you can delve in and change the strings and change the piano types ad infinitum. Back to category search, favourites, enter. Things like Rhodes sounds. It's got quite a biting sort of Rhodes sounds, and it's a new key action. So it's a keyboard player can really get into it, but it's also light enough for a synth, like a synth player, to really get some good keys going. So. Chunky. One of the key things that set the Motif XS apart when it was released was its sample switching and its multiple layers that it had with the assignable function keys. Any sound that's got AF1 and 2 on it means there's something set to the assignable function keys. So we're going to kick off with the classical guitar, the nylon classical. So here we go. And here on the AF1 and 2s we've got a slide and a harmonic. So when playing, so it makes for expressive performances. You can really sort of get going. And again, you can have that sort of same sound, but instead of hitting the assignable function keys, you can have them velocity switched. So the same sound again, the nylon guitar, but the slide is now attached to velocity sensitivity. So. Again, pretty versatile. And staying with the guitar, because this kind of elaborates on like the multi-sampling and also the arpeggios you've got going on. So this is a Mega Voice steel guitar. So I'm going to hit enter because it allows me to get to my different arpeggio types. Kick off with arpeggio 1. We're not going Hotel California, it's okay. And then you can switch to different arpeggios. And it's clever enough to realise you're playing a guitar sound, so the keyboard is limited to make it sound authentic. So wherever you play, it's not going to make it sound daft by going up all high. So it just gives you an example of all the different programming techniques that's gone into making some of these sounds. Back to category search. Let's keep on going through some of the other different sounds. You've got voice mode again, so we go category search, into the strings. Okay, another good example of the sample switching. I'm going to go to solo, and it's got a lovely electric violin set here, again with AF1 and 2 labelled. So you've got things like, and on these ones, so you've got a bit of a staccato, and here you've got a legato. So. And that one's latching, so that stays on all the time. So yeah, capable of very expressive sort of live performances. Voice mode, okay, we've covered voice mode. Into performances, this is where all the voices can be put together in splits or layers or combinations or what we call performances. They can be up to 4 sounds deep, and each one of those sounds can be up to 8 elements deep, so you can have huge layers, especially massive synth sounds. And you can also have 4 arpeggios running at the same time, so you can have a bass line, a drum kit, a synth lead, loads of different things burbling away at the time, which is all fully editable and controllable live. Again, I've put some favourites down, so I'll go to category search, favourites, enter, bang. And I've just put a couple of different ideas on here, so to give it like an example of the of how flexible it is. Kicking off this one, it's a bit of a world one, so you've got, down here you've got a pad and strings, kind of synthy, and at the top here you've got a monophonic layer of flute. Monophonic, so you can do the trills. Expressive. Semi-finale is your traditional sort of orchestral patch, so you have the light touch brings out the strings. And then the heavy touch brings in the brass and the timpani. Big sounds. And Dreamscape, this is quite a nice one. Again, we've got a monophonic flute at the top, but it demonstrates how the programming goes into some of the string arpeggios. So if you listen at the back, you've got a nice orchestral sort of, got some horns, got some strings, got some trills, and over the top of it, we also have things like dub. So white sand dub demonstrates kind of a bit more of the electro sort of techno-y sort of drum kits they've got, and there are loads of them. So here we go with white sand dub. It's got a very simple 808 sounding kit with a sub bass on it, and in the top we've got 2 separate arpeggiated synths. So we have like really nice shimmering sort of sounds. And going further up, just to demonstrate a bit more the rocky element, you've got something here called Funk Jam. We're not going to do the funk, we're just going to show the drums and a bit of the bass, because we don't do funk right now. But this gives you a good idea of some of the live sounding drum kits. This is actually not a bad sounding beat, in all honesty. going to do that. But it gives you an idea of the like the rockier sort of drum kits, because we obviously do the DTX range of electronic drum. Because we obviously do the electronic drum kits, the DTX range. A lot of them are multi-sampled from those kits, so they're like really good approximations of our acoustic kits. And that is a pretty much good summary of the MOX8 and the 6.